Hello and welcome to Dice Tabletop, and in this episode I thought I'd take you through how I go about stripping my models. I wanted to do a painting video leading into the Lord of the Rings series that I'm going to be doing soon, and I needed to strip a model for that, so I thought why not just turn it into a quick little video. This method is exceptionally quick. You do not need all the equipment that I'm going to use to do it. It will take slightly longer if you don't, but literally in 10 minutes you can start having your models from a childhood all nice and clean so that you can put a fresh coat of paint on them. So what I'm going to be doing is using an ultrasonic cleaner that I picked up on Amazon. This is a 2.5 litre capacity one. These are not expensive. You can pick these up from about £30–35. It is a brilliant investment if you've got a whole bunch of models that you need to strip very quickly. As you can see, there's a little basket in there. I've used this a hell of a lot. Don't worry how dirty this gets. You really do not need to clean these specifically in between every time you do a strip. So we are going to be using methylated spirits as our cleaning liquid. Just filling up the vat there with, I think that's a 500ml bottle. I'm only going to be stripping a couple of models in this instance, so I don't need to be brimming it up too much. With that done, we're going to plug it in. Now, the most important part to make sure that your model strip quickly is to heat up your cleaning liquid. So that's got a little heating element, that's what I've just turned on there. Getting heat into it is going to help soften the paint and make that cleaning solution work and agitate that paint off a hell of a lot easier, especially as we're going to be using the ultrasonic cleaner. The way that the ultrasonic cleaner works is it produces thousands of little micro bubbles. These get underneath the paint and pop off, and then it blisters all the paint up and removes it cleanly from the surface. So with that heated up, now what we're going to do is put the plastic models in. Now, as I was saying, you do not need an ultrasonic cleaner to do this. If you want to do this without one, I recommend getting a Tupperware tub, boil the kettle, don't put too much hot water, but kind of like a bain-marie type deal. Put your Tupperware tub inside a larger container where you can surround it with hot water, let that naturally warm up the cleaning liquid as you go, and then you can put your models in, leave them to soak for around about, I'd say 15 to 20 minutes, then you can start attacking them. So as you can see here, paint is already just falling off this, so I'm going to come at this with a toothbrush, and it literally just sloughs straight off the surface. I'm doing this as much as I can in real time without doing too many time cuts, just so you can see how quick this really is. These have been in here, I reckon, for about 30–40 seconds already at this point. Now, doing this, it is going to create quite a lot of fumes. You're going to want to make sure that you have good ventilation. I had a fan off to the left-hand side, and I also had a window open while I was doing this. So what we want to be doing is just carrying around and agitating that paint. We might not get it all off straight away. We want to be breaking up the surface so that the little micro bubbles that are caused by the ultrasonic cleaner can help get deeper and deeper, closer to the surface of the model itself, and separate all that paint clean off. One thing you are going to want to be mindful of is because we have heated up this cleaning solution, and in the case of using an ultrasonic cleaner, all those micro bubbles, they create heat themselves as they pop. So we do have to be careful that we don't heat the solution up too much that the plastic starts to become brittle. You do want to take your time as you're scrubbing. The plastic does soften and weaken ever so slightly, so you don't want to be going at it too hard and breaking bits off. I did actually end up breaking a part off of one of the Uruk-hai models in this. It is so easily done, so just be careful, don't be a fool like me. Alright, see how easy this paint comes off. That was the first brush stroke on the model. It's ridiculous. This is so fast. You're going to have all of your old models ready to go back on the tabletop with a fresh coat of paint in no time using this method. And the same can also be said for this Warrior of Rohan. As well as that, we've also got Lurtz and that Chaos Space Marine. Lurtz is a metal model. When stripping metal models, don't worry about heat. It really doesn't matter. You're not going to do any damage to them whatsoever. So with that done, they go back into the vat now for round 2. As you can see, this goes on for 3 minutes at a time. So this is probably about 4 or 5 minutes into the strip now. This second one I go over with a very stiff bristled smaller brush. This enables me to get into all the little nooks and crannies in the necks, under the arms, you know, in between all the leg joints and whatnot, anywhere that the toothbrush hasn't been able to properly get to. And there we have it. Done. These in total I think took me about 15 minutes. I spent a little bit more time and care on them than I normally would. It's really up to you. You can try and get it back to the original plastic best you can. You never will do. There's always going to be some slight stainage on it. But take a look at the result. Tell me what you think. This was an exceptionally quick process, as I said. These are now, once you get a fresh coat of paint on them, you're not going to really notice any of the little paint bits that are left in the recess that you haven't quite been able to get to. See there, as I try and rub it off, you're not really going to get it back to the original plastic. There's always going to be some staining. Another good thing that this is really beneficial for is if you want to loosen up glue on metal and plastic models. You can't always necessarily guarantee a clean break if you do want to separate a model, but I took a Mauler Fiend apart using this method and I managed to break it entirely apart separately. So I hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching. As I say, please leave your thoughts down below. I want to hear how you strip your models. So remember to like, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.